All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and start. We'll say welcome to anybody watching the stream right now. I see Christian in here. This is something new that I'm going to try. This is what I'm going to call the L5R Lounge, where we basically take two players, have them talk about their deck list, and just kind of go through it, give you guys some insight as far as how to play certain deck lists that are in the meta, just some insight on where the meta is in general. So, with me today, I have Erik Bauhuis.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, that's
What's
right. All
up?
right, nice. Okay, cool. I did it. And Arash of Gahi. So they're here to play some Crane and Scorpion for you guys and talk about those decks that they have been playing. Obviously, stuff's gonna be changing in the near future because of Dominion cycle starting out. But right now, we are still in the thick of Clan War meta, and so we have two Kotes coming up next week. Erik, are you going to any of them or no?
No, I'm unfortunately not.
Okay. Well, Erik, you will not see Erik there, but you will see probably some of these decks. So, let's go ahead and start with Erik. We'll talk about your current Crane list. This is called Good Old Crane. I see you have switched to Bushi Builder, which is nice. You've finally seen the light.
They put the videos on there, so I think that's pretty good.
Alright, so let me blow this up for you guys a little bit. Did I just say Erik is a Nazi? No, I didn't say that. All right, Erik. So talk to me about this deck list. Obviously, it's called Good Old Crane, so I'm expecting to see pretty much some of the normal stuff in here.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same plan as we have been doing for a long time. Trying to build some character with enough faith on it that it will last a long time. Put some attachments, do some duels for fun and profit. Maybe use Let Go.
Okay. So I am seeing some new cards in here that aren't normally in your deck. So I see Dazzling Duelist. This card is one of the newer cards. How are you liking this card so far?
Yeah, so it came out in Clan Wars, and it just has a printed duel, right? So with Feyrin Kikita, he can honor himself as long as you have an opponent. And with Two Glory, that's basically what it's for.
Okay. That's pretty cool. And then also this Masterpiece Painter. This is another new card from Clan War.
Yeah, she just has good stats also mostly. Just like the Dazzling Duelist, you start on 4 political, even if you get Dishonored, she still has 3, so...
Yeah. Oh,
and
man.
then the action is kind of okay.
Yeah, I forgot that she was a 3-cost, man. These are pretty amazing stats, actually, for a 3-coster.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically just Artisan Academy, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, pretty much Artisan Academy. Actually, exactly Artisan Academy, so there's that. All right, and yeah, as far as your conflict deck goes, everything looks pretty standard right now. I see you are running Above Question, which is a nice little addition. I guess what are you seeing the uses for Above Question right now?
So in most games, you're actually trying to play it on your opponent's important character. Like against the tower decks, you can stop them from using In Service to My Lord, Defend Your Honor, Call to War, Prepare for War, a whole lot of things.
Okay.
And then in other games, a lot of clans play Defend Your Honor anyway, so you can try to stop that.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad actually that that Crane's sort of out of the meta because of this card. This card is actually very annoying for Tower to deal with. So, yeah, you can't the only way you can get rid of it is with Mia Mystics really in the Tower deck. So. That is very annoying indeed. And also, new card here, Return the Offense. So this card obviously was pretty sweet when we saw it previewed. How has it played out for you so far?
I actually haven't tested it all that much because I was trying some more aggressive decks that it didn't really fit in. But, I mean, it's a duel, it's non-political, so you can use your Stronghold to honor, and it stops you bowing, right? So on paper, it kind of seems like everything we want.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, overall pretty standard stuff. I know you've been trying some other splashes lately. Why? I guess do you still feel like Dragon Splash is probably the safest way to go?
I think it's probably a little bit stronger still. Yeah, just because I think aggressive game plans in general are quite weak to stalling out. and you don't really have tools in Crane that stop you from stalling out. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's turn over to Arash. Arash, you are playing something called Dirtle.deck. This is a Scorpion deck, and I can only imagine what it does.
Yeah, I mean, this is not what I've been playing competitively. It's sort of what I've been playing when people ask me to test Scorpion against them.
Okay.
The deck I've been sort of like playing more is like High House of Light Dragon, but we figured that it might be more interesting to have a more meta deck on this cast.
Okay.
There isn't not much to say about this. I mean, this is kind of just standard Keeper of Earth Scorpion.
Yeah, I mean, most of this stuff looks pretty similar to what Furtop was running in Dallas. Obviously, we have the Clan Wars card in here now, so talk to me a little bit about this Vice Proprietor card. This card is kind of nutty, right?
I like this card. I haven't had a chance to use it much, but it definitely it forces people to overcommit, right? Like, you can't just send in one character into something because the Vice Proprietor will make sure that it gets bowed. It's a 2-cost courtier, and he seems pretty legit. I haven't had a chance to really play him. I've bought him, but he's always been converted or not allowed into the battle, or it's just ended before I've really been able to use him.
Gotcha. Also, I'm just
the
now.
other new addition here, I think, is Master Whisperer, right?
Yeah, Master Whisper's in this list as well. So this card is actually stupid. So
Yeah.
I have not been happy with this card's existence. Obviously, Favor Niece is a great card, and this card does more than Favor Niece. So
Well, I think that it's really splash dependent. I really like Favor Niece in Crane Splash and Keeper of Air because you can SPR it, you can and I like the control of the action. It's very rare that you have just 3 dead cards that you can throw away, unless you're playing Keeper of Earth Phoenix Splash, where it's very often that you just do have 3 dead cards. Because like Display of Power becomes pretty irrelevant around the second break. There are times when you have I Can Swim in this list, and sometimes that's just not super relevant. Goblin Sneak at a certain point becomes not super necessary.
okay. Yeah. So the conflict side, I don't think Scorpion really got much new yet. But yeah, on the Dynasty side at least, we do have some. Yeah, these new utility cards I think have definitely kind of helped out Scorpion a good bit. I was gonna say earlier, I just realized that Vice Proprietor is not like a second in command proprietor, but actually a proprietor of Vice. So I am, the more you know. Learn new things every day. All right, so one thing also, so Chris Furtop at Dallas was running Toshi Rambo in his row, and I see that you are also still running Toshi Rambo. How are you liking Toshi Rambo as a province?
I think it makes sense. When I was playtesting, Scorpion after Shoujo 2 came out, just to get a feel for Shoujo 2, I really hated Midnight Revels on my row.
Yeah.
It just feels really bad.
Okay.
You just want to slam Shoujo as soon as you can. And then Midnight Revels really sort of fucks with that. So Toshi Rambo is any element, and it's not Midnight Revels. Unfortunately, every single water province, there's very few good neutral water provinces. And I don't know what Scorpion's water province is. I assume that it's bad if I don't know what it is.
I don't know if they have one, huh?
There's Web of Lies.
Oh, Web of Lies is water?
That's why I always picture that as void. Web of Lies is awful.
I don't know. I just picture it as non-existent because I'm never playing that province.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Yeah, so Web of Lies is awful. So you sort of just need a water province, and Toshi Rambo is every element. So there it is. There's a couple of other things that I think Toshi Rambo does. It is very often attack turn 1 because it does have like a pretty useful effect once it gets going. But basically, because it gets attacked turn 1, it sort of protects Shameful Display, Effective Deception, and Before the Throne until you're better able to like make use of them.
Mm-hmm.
I truly don't give a shit if people break Toshi Rambo. And then, like playing it, it does have some like neat effects that I think are useful.
Yeah. Chad asking, does abandoning honor really win games? Is it absolutely necessary?
No, but it sometimes does.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think sometimes it wins you games and sometimes it doesn't. But do you put abandoning honor under your stronghold, or do you put...
100%?
Okay, yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
So in that situation, ordinarily what happens is you get your opponent down to like 4 honor or something like that, and then that gives you 1 extra honor reach to dishonor them. So the way for those who don't know how the sequencing works, abandoning honor is a break effect. So that it's an interrupt to the break effect. So you don't actually lose the game until your stronghold is broken. So the interrupt will happen first, and then you discard one of their characters with who's dishonored, and they lose an honor and they lose the game before you actually lose the game. So
I used to run Into the Forbidden City underbox, and that's what I ran at PAX Unplugged. And I think that it was fine for that meta because you weren't getting crazy towers, and like getting rid of 1 or 2 attachments is pretty useful. But after now that there's like huge ass towers, just like killing it's just another failsafe, as you said.
yeah.
And truly, to be like perfectly honest, if an opponent is getting to your box, you're more or less screwed most of the time. Like you can usually defend 1 attack on your stronghold if you just throw a lot of cards into it. But you cannot. You just basically want to not let that happen.
Yeah, I can see that being the case for sure. All right. So now that we've seen both the deck list, Erik, traditionally, I know Scorpion has been a god-awful matchup for Crane. How do you feel in the current Clan War meta against Scorpion? Do you feel like anything has changed, or do you feel like anything, have you gotten new cards to help out there, or do you feel like Crane's sort of on the struggle bus still?
Well, I think it is definitely still struggling, but at least the last restricted list update helped a lot because it removed Mark of Shame from the meta. So now I can kind of try to honor my characters. I can sometimes get Voice of Honor out of my hand. That helps a lot. There's still 3 dead let goes, so that's not the best. Some Scorpions were running Cloud in Mind, so I think if they're doing that, it's a lot better. But otherwise, you just have these 3 cards that don't really do anything.
Yeah, it's sort of a pick and choose thing with the clouds, right? So, Arash, I know you're not running Cloud in this list. What's the rationale behind running Cloud versus not running Cloud?
So I actually, when Fro was running this deck originally, he was running Cloud. And if I were to spend more time creating this list, I would probably consider running Cloud. I think the big deal is that it really warps your dynasty in a way. Like, you have Maya Mystics and you have Socio-Illusionist, and then you sort of need a 3rd Shugenja. And there aren't really that many good Shugenja. And really, you just need Cloud against Ichiro. So I think when Fro was talking about it, he mentioned that a Seasonal War is a more effective
an extra Shugenja? A more effective Cloud, okay.
Shugenja, and it opens up your conflict to having just more cards.
Okay.
More more impactful conflict cards.
Yeah.
Definitely think that in a lot of cases, having Cloud is actually really useful.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it turns out that blanking characters is pretty amazing, right? So, I personally have found that in this current meta, the only character that's really deserving of a Cloud, I guess from my perspective, is Shoju, right? So that's the only character that you really need Cloud in most of the matchups. But Otherwise,
It depends. In Dragon, I use Cloud pretty aggressively in a lot of different matchups.
yeah.
Like Yasamura or like Agatoki can really ruin your day. I agree with you otherwise. That I put Cloud back into Dragon because I was losing to Shoju 2 at 5 honor, and that's ridiculous.
And Eric, I know Crane's getting a bunch of new Shugenja. Have you found that you guys have enough playable ones yet? I mean, obviously looking at your list, it sounds like no, but have you had? Do you finally have enough playable Shugenja to run Cloud at some point in time?
You could maybe try it. I mean, you can play Mia Mystics and then the old Asahina Artisan, maybe. I think that's still the second best one. We played Maker of Keepsakes for a little bit, but it's out of fashion again because Smart Shame is gone anyway, I think.
Yeah.
And there's the previewed one that's 0-0 that you can do some not that impactful action with all your Dynasty cards. So maybe if that turns out good, it might be possible, but not for a few months at least, I think.
Yeah. Middens in chat calling out Arash right now for pronouncing Mia Mystic like Fro does. Do not let that man influence your pronunciation. It is not Maya. It is not Maya. That is very different. It's Mia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So just setting the record straight. And yeah. All right. So
Mia Mystic is really useful when Ikairo comes up, right? Because you can cloud it.
Jesus, man. It is awful being on a podcast with Fro, because I just have to hear all this nonsense every single time he talks. It's just the worst pronunciation. Between him and Shay, it's actually terrible. So
I can imagine.
Yeah. All right. Well, so any other thoughts on this? Oh, Jesus Christ! I just dropped my phone. Any other thoughts on this matchup before we go ahead and get some games in, or a game, or we'll see how much time we have, but we're gonna play at least one game.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm just trying to not die while also breaking promises at the same time, and it's kind of awkward to do both.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been practicing Scorpion as much as I used to, partially because it's a lot of people play it at my club, and also I don't find the Keeper of Earth style that interesting to play. That I'm not too awful against the Shogun, and embarrassing on this stream.
No, I mean this is for funsies and just to show people, sort of how the dynamic of this matchup. So we'll go ahead and you guys can go ahead and set up a game. I'll jump in. Set a password to whatever you want, or just don't set a password, either one. And look at all these dragons on Jigoku right now.
Yeah, Dragon's been getting like a renaissance.
Yeah, there's some we were talking about the other day, and there's a ton of dragons in the Discord League.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're the most represented clan.
There's 20 of them, and I think that there are maybe 18, but they have one or two more than anybody else.
All right, when are you two making a game?
I can make it start.
Yeah, go ahead. Christian playing against Dakin.
Oh, I wonder how fast he's gonna rage quit. Not Christian.
Hop in here. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and start whenever you want.
Cool. So are you just going to talk throughout the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, you guys obviously feel free to talk to each other, and just I'm not going to talk the whole time, but I'll ask questions and stuff, and just comment on stuff. So that's sort of what we're looking to do here.
Good.
Just again, it's a showcase and not really like a competitive match or anything like that. So if you guys want to talk through lines of play or anything like that, feel free to go ahead and do that too.
So at the start here, I'm basically trying to not give any assassination targets. Okay. I know that Scorpion wants to lose 3 honor anyway, so I much prefer they have to assassinate the wrong guy to reach that.
Just looking for low drops. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. Um.
Alright. Ooh, this is nice. Okay.
There. Okay, fine.
Alright. The Doji Challenger with 4 faces. Yeah, so one of the good things about, I guess, Scorpion right now in the current meta is, you know, since you know that most of them are not running Fate Worse than Death, you can feel free to sort of invest into characters and not feel as bad committing to some conflicts.
I really wanted to just pass and not give you passing fate there, but part told me I couldn't. Characters, unfortunately. Big thing for me is just keeping up enough fate to threaten.
Display power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime I see somebody hovering on 2 fate, I just have like the most anxiety when I try to attack a province. It's like maybe it's like I never want to attack like a really bad ring.
Never care about this. No.
And yeah, so I think Challenger is pretty good in this matchup, right? Just because of being able to stop display of power.
Yeah, especially in this kind of case where there's no liars or L5R artists, no dashes, it's a lot better.
I was sort of looking for dashes and I didn't find any. I was upset.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll policy debate here. That's fair. So, one of the things about playing policy debate, I guess, if you know that you're going to lose a policy debate, usually it's just better to just go ahead and cancel it, because unless you have something else that's way more valuable in your hand, but most of the time the cancel is going to be the thing that goes. Might as well stop the information from getting out there for your hand.
You're valuing the advice provider over. I'm actually going to pass this conflict because I'm not going to get a second conflict in, and I don't want to give you Seeker Fate to play something.
That seems smart, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. You could have done water on the first one, right? But the manipulator is 0/0 anyway, so.
I was thinking about that, and then I'd have to invest cards into the manipulator to get him to do something.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is.
Turns out Pilgrimage is a great province, right?
Well, whatever. I guess it just represents. I'm just going to do this to be annoying, just to prolong this a little bit. Advice provider. Oh no, he can't. Okay. Wondering if he could dishonor himself.
I don't think so. He has to pick a.
Pick an opponent.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Do you want to dishonor yourself here?
Well, I would want to bow myself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, you have to choose an opponent to do the bowing part. Erik, any
Why do
reason?
you want to bow down?
I'd like if I hit upholding. I'd like.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Erik, was there any reason you chose the vice proprietor to avoid instead of the manipulator? Just I'm assuming just because his effect is more valuable.
Yeah, and the manipulator is already dishonored, so he can't edict off that, and it's a 0/0 as well, so.
Now what I'm doing is I'm digging for shoju.
That seems 100% reasonable.
There we
he's
go.
There. He's all right. This game has now changed. Yeah. And so shoju, if you guys don't know already, this card is kind of wild. Yeah, I don't know why they printed this card.
That is a great question.
I put my little splash panel right on top of where the card shows up, so I can't really mouse over. But If you had to change one thing about Shoju, what would you change?
Honestly, I think that he's fine, except for the fact that he ditches favor.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe just opponent can't claim favor.
I think that'd be reasonable.
The fact that he just invalidates censure is I feel bad. I probably actually made a mistake here. We'll talk about it after bids.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I feel like I probably have to go for 1 because if I do 5 and you do 1, then I'm sort of dead.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do 1.
That was a mistake that I felt as though I made. I should have probably boxed because you'd already passed for fate. You know?
Oh, just
Yeah,
like,
true. Yeah.
Just done that and been fine.
Yeah, so I guess to explain the rationale for boxing before you go to bids at that point is in the event that Erik had bid something like 5, then the honor exchange would have put Arash over honor over Erik, so he would have missed the box activation. So there's more net honor available in the pool.
Oh, okay, sure.
This is the one matchup where I'm sort of happy playing above question on myself. I'm still going to have multiple characters, so it won't really stop you from playing anything. But it just protects this one guy.
I get that. That makes sense. Sure.
I think the Kakita Blade is pretty good for me here. And if you had a calling in favors, you probably would have stolen it, I think. Like last turn.
Keter Blade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess just because of how many duels you have. It's kind of awkward. I would have had to steal it onto the proprietor, I guess.
Yeah, or the manipulator. I guess either one. I guess if you had the calling in favor. Oh no, well I guess he was dishonored already. So yeah, you would have to take it on the proprietor.
So you can see that even with the challenger, I'm not necessarily safe from display of power because it could be this province.
Yeah.
And you can just cancel the challenger.
Yeah, this is a very good province. I like this province a lot. I don't think it's like too strong or anything, but it is very, very annoying.
I'm gonna display of power this. I think I'm just going to honor Shoju. Oh, you voice of honored it. That's rude.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a nice little bait there from Erik, I guess, to go ahead and use the. Well, I mean, I guess you had to if you wanted to display power, right? But he burned the action with the challenger effect, so that way you had no choice at this point but to lose your display of power. Either you were going to miss the opportunity, or you were going to have to play the card into voice of honor. So now two edicts are down for Arash.
The bad thing here is that there's a lot of policy debate targets now, and I don't love that.
You're up a good few cards, though.
Yeah, it's true.
I think I kind of gave away that I had a rifle by just
not
passing
buying
the
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess my question is, like, how much do I care about this effect right now? And I don't think I care that much.
Might as well try to win the ring, I think.
So this just represents cards that I like. Do I want to play these cards?
Yeah, so one thing to note about winning the ring here for Erik is that even though he can't get the favor himself, he can keep the favor at neutral, so that way Arash can't get the favor. And
you've already played a court game, so all you have left is Way of the Crane, I guess, or Honoring.
Yeah. I think I have to play it here. I do have one.
This makes it easier, I guess.
yeah, so you get to burn a bunch of cards here with that
Who's
rival
calling
bout.
me? Oh. Okay. Why is this person calling me? Boop. Sorry.
That's right. So,
I think I spent a lot of cards there. I mean, I did. Because you're at such a low card, such a few amount of cards, though, I think it's almost worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have traded pretty evenly so far with this.
Yeah.
I have to think now whether I want to disguise over this rifle or not.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird with Kageo because it's almost always a big downgrade of the character. Like next turn, I would much rather have this rifle.
The rival's much better with Shoju on the board.
Yeah, but this card draw is also pretty important too. So,
Yeah, that's true.
interesting choice.
It's both of us, right?
No, it's just your opponent.
Oh no. How many cards have I played this conflict? I played 4. Okay,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
lot.
I could also disguise after the conflict and attack again.
So yeah, just draw 4 or get another conflict in. Get a fate and a potential water ring here, or void ring.
Yeah, it kind of gives up the favor this way, but I think I have to just take the 4 cards.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I think right now, you have 2 breaks already, so you're sort of in an okay position. You don't have to really force the issue right now. And it's gonna be really difficult for you to actually break without
Going.
I think that worked out pretty okay. I already had the new name, so I knew that if I disguise into the conflict, I can maybe stop the Earth Ring as well.
Yeah.
So it was just way too much value to not do it.
I just can't with you representing policy debate. I can't really attack with this liar, with this manipulator. Sorry. And so that means that, and I can't attack with Shoju into an undefended upholding authority.
Yeah.
Like if I just go into face check upholding authority, that just as such feels bad. To do this, I'm not super happy about it though.
All right. Pretty decent flop here for Erik, actually.
Yeah.
On your side, maybe less exciting, but you still have Shoju out.
This is fine. I don't think this is bad for me. This double challenger is going to be pretty annoying. This.
Yeah, so Erik's honor total right now is actually pretty healthy. I think getting the extra honor from the Kakita blade early kind of helped out a lot, and also him, I think one of the key things here is just recognizing when the one bid can potentially kill you, right? And so, had Erik bid 5 on that last turn, he would have been in a much different situation right now. Just looking at the card advantage, right? So like imagine he didn't play Kageu. The number of cards would have been about equal right now had he bid 5, and so even though Arash bid 1, the advantage he really got was not that great.
Attack with here? What is this from?
Hello to Evan in the chat. And thanks for the follow for the 2 people who followed me. Rohan and Jotiko. And Aethusium. And Will. And Evan. I need to get like a little follower notification or something now if I'm going to be doing this regularly.
Yeah. I think I have to send both of the challengers because of the vice proprietor. If I only send the big one, it'll just get bowed.
I agree.
Alright. Before the throne.
That'll get you to 6. Sorry, that'll get you to 7. No, 6.
6.
With box.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Love this. I'm gonna force you to do it, I guess.
Aethusium saying, surprised he wasn't already following. Yeah, I mean, well, I actually haven't streamed in a while. I guess probably since the World Cup. So, thank you for following, and I'm looking to stream a little bit more, just to put some more content out there. You know, it's not really for me; it's more for the community aspect of this, and just so for some background as to why I started doing this in the first place, or why I want to start doing this. A local of mine was talking to me, and we were talking about how, like, you know, back in the day, like, you know, a year and a half ago or so, like, there used to be a ton of video content for L5R just from all the Discord League stuff and other just random things, and that sort of dried up as of lately, partially because the Discord League has been defunct, but also because you know, just people coming and going and you know, getting interested in projects. So
I think that you're pretty favored now.
Yeah,
I would imagine.
Erik is in a really good situation here. His board is huge. He's broken 3 provinces, and he's only at 6 honor. So he definitely has enough of a leash to where he can sort of dirtle for a little bit, and even if he doesn't break next turn, you know, everything's going to be leaving on Arash's side of the board.
Yeah, I think avoiding the shameful is pretty important.
Yeah.
Avoiding the I was really hoping that you would hit shameful, weirdly enough. But you didn't. So that's good.
All right, so here's a little poke into upholding authority on air. It is a little risky to not defend this, I would say. It will put you down to 4 honor. Or this is my thoughts on it, but I don't know if you feel differently, Erik.
Well, the problem is I only have 1 character, right? So, and there will be another attack.
Yeah.
And also Kageu is just a 1 on military right now. I think I have to just do it though. Like, going down to 4 is pretty close to dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4 at this point is essentially 3 because next turn you know, you have no way of actually getting rid of Shoju this turn, so. There is still 1 more attack, and so a political attack with Shoju is probably going to get him a keeper here, and it would take you down to 5 honor, but.
can only boost it once without.
Without losing the honor, you mean, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you if you were going to spend the honor on the Banzai, you might as well just not have defended. So this is good though. It sort of keeps Erik afloat for the time being. You know, I think he would have to have something here to, you know, some kind of conflict character. What are your conflict characters? It's what, Wanderer and 2 rivals, right?
Ancient
Yeah.
Justice.
So, I could play the Wanderer, but I think he'll probably just get assassinated. It might be fine though, because then next turn it'll be hard to assassinate again. So I might be able to buy something else. There's 2 Fate on a ring as well, so
Yeah.
I think I will just use it.
Yeah, you might as well just grab it. Keep the Fate away from Arash. And this also gives you a potential defender for the next conflict. Granted, Arash does have Earth Becomes Sky, and yeah, Assassination's here, so...
Yeah, it basically has to be.
Yeah, so I think it was worth it, you know, trade 1 Fate for 2 Fate.
Yeah, especially because otherwise the Fate would still be on there, and I think Arash could still do Earth, and then next turn he can take 3 Fate off.
Yeah, chat's asking about how come you don't have Need 10 Pupil in this deck?
It says water roll only.
So I know you did play that deck for a little bit. What did you think of it?
I think it's just too reliant on your opponent helping you to win. Like they have to basically attack you turn 1 and then you duel them somehow and also have a pupil and also have a Tessin and then you destroy them.
That's fair.
I think I made a mistake here. Okay. Hopefully you pass and I can rectify. You don't pass and I rectify it. Okay.
I'm just trying to make the Earthring hit that shitty card.
Oh, okay.
I've actually never used this in Jigoku. Did I click this ring?
You click the ring that you want to resolve here, I think.
Clicking air and nothing is happening. Oh. Don't resolve the conflict ring? But no, I want to resolve the air ring. I can do that, right?
Just try it and we'll walk it back if it fucks up. Wait.
Okay, so you should be at 4 honor and I should be at 4 honor as well, right?
Okay, are you trying to
Yeah.
resolve the air ring? Okay, that's the question.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Alright.
Do I still...
You still get the keeper because it's the earth ring.
Okay.
It just also has the air trait on it.
Oh, because manual mode is here. So I can
Oh,
do
it's
this.
bugged. One of the Jigoku devs is saying in chat.
Okay.
You have
so
to
then
still
I'm at
gain
4
one,
honor,
right?
you're at 4 honor.
Yeah.
And everything is hunky-dory.
Yes.
So this game went, I think, very well for me, but I still have 4 honor. I'll go to 3 from Shoju, so if there's just 3 compliments, I die.
Yeah, there's a very good chance that you're just dead here.
I only need 2 compliments.
Only 2?
Yeah.
Why?
I have abandoning honor.
Oh, you're right. Yes. Okay. Yes. Wait. Yes. Okay. That is correct. But Erik has Asami.
I think I probably don't need to put that much fate anymore. Because the game will end
Yeah.
anyways.
The game is over this turn, I think. Alright, time for the shoju phase.
Okay, let's do some counting.
Alright. Well, you are a math teacher, so let's show us the ways of counting. Apparently, it's just counting out loud.
Okay. I think I just do this.
Alright. Oh, you are first player, okay. So you actually can. Oh, Jesus.
Do I just do everyone? I think this is actually fine.
So this is interesting here.
Still win this. And you got an owner. That's really annoying.
So I guess I'm confused as to why you would attack upholding authority.
Because if I win this, it does not matter.
Even if you broke upholding authority? That's the part that I guess confuses me, because, you know, in the event that you had compliments and you accidentally broke...
Before the conflict is over?
Yes, you could. But, you know, I think Erik would have been able to put himself in a situation where I guess he would gain enough honor to where you couldn't kill him there, but you would still break.
Oh, wait, there's another...
I socio-illusionist one of the honor tokens off. Was dishonored before, now it's no longer dishonored.
Oh, the other one was honored or something?
Oh, it was dishonored, but then I got rid of the token with socio-illusionist.
Yeah, I dueled the other one with the dojo because I assumed this is the one you used.
Oh, shit. No, you dueled the one that had already... There was one that was dishonored and one that was undishonored. Would you have preferred to have dueled the socio-illusionist instead?
No, I mean, I meant to duel the proprietor that's not... Because you used one this conflict already, right?
Yeah, whichever
You
one
is
wasn't dishonored, and I used the young rumor monger to move the dishonor onto the goblin sneak.
Oh,
And I
didn't
used
see that.
and got rid of the dishonor on the non-dishonored, on the dishonored vice proprietor, and then used it right now. That make sense?
Yeah, I see what happened.
If you wanted to, you could have used it on the socio-illusionist.
No, I think it's fine. We can just keep it like this.
Okay.
I should have dojoed someone else, obviously, but it doesn't matter.
Fine. But actually, fine, right?
Hmm?
Is this one?
Fine, because now I don't think that you get an attack.
No, I don't. Wow, these proprietors have done a lot more than I expected they would.
These the proprietors are pretty legit.
Yeah, they're really good. Turns out. You know, they basically just say bow a character.
Yeah, with all the support from the illusionist and the rumor monger.
I should attack with this goblin snake. And I have to very carefully click this one first, so that I'm on 1 honor.
All right. So now the question is, do you have, you know, in this situation, I think you win the game if you had either duty or the third back.
Oh, I can't play duty, right?
Or shoju.
I can't play duty, right?
You can't?
Oh.
Why not?
Because he has an open voice of honor.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, yes, actually. But you could also have censure to protect it, right?
Could.
Or the third edict.
Or the third edict.
Or you could just have shoju, and then... Wait. Okay, yeah, so there's the duty. Yeah, so I mean, in that situation, like, the likelihood of Erik having... wait, he's already played one voice? 2 voices?
I've played one,
Yeah.
but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, GG.
GG. Alright, yeah, so...
GG.
I guess let's talk about the match a little bit. Obviously, this is a pretty... a good indication of what happens in the Scorpion matchup, right? So did you... Arash, I guess, did you have a second compliment?
Did. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I went air ring, because with the box and air ring, and a second conflict afterwards. That round.
Mm-hmm.
Also going all in there sort of forces him to all out defend, which like protects my box.
Okay.
Let's see what my next card would have been. I didn't need the second backhanded compliment, but it was definitely nice.
Yeah, and so Erik showing off in the chat the downsides of having let go in this matchup, right? It kind of sucks because there's literally nothing for it to target, and in a matchup where you get put down to 1 bids pretty quickly, it really, really, really hurts to draw dead cards. So obviously, if Erik had seen maybe I think another voice there, he would have been okay. Although I think Arash's willingness to find the one there, regardless of the fact that he could have voice, indicates that he probably had censure.
I had a 4G edict.
Yeah, and an edict. So.
There you go.
So that's tough. So I guess from Erik's perspective, so that last conflict with the Kakita dojo, you said that you should have dojoed somebody else. In that instance, who would you have dojoed?
Probably just the other proprietor to like. I just mistook the one that was used basically because it had a dishonor on it, so I figured that's the one that's used. But the rumor monger moved it.
Oh, okay.
So that if I did that, I think I didn't need to play the rival, so I could maybe attack somewhere. But I don't think it would have mattered.
Okay.
I kind of agree. And actually, this was a case where abandoning honor was relevant.
Right. Yeah. So we were just talking about that earlier, and yeah, this is definitely a situation where, you know, you had Erik down to 4 honor, and you just, you know, it was difficult for him to attack. And you know, he only got to attack once, but it would have been difficult for him to actually get through because of the fact that abandoning honor could have just killed off this Kageu.
I played I mean, I didn't need to duty here. Compliment in my hand. And first player loses in the shoju phase.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, the first player always loses in the shoju phase.
Okay, so if you both die at the same time, then Erik would have lost first then.
Because the first player just gets to determine which effect goes first. Well, sorry.
Wait.
No, the second. Wait, what is it? There's a ruling on 5.
Okay.
But first player, and if both their people are 1 honor, first player. Oh, the effects occurred to them first. But even if we were both at 1 honor, I think it would have been fine. Then I could have, yeah, I think it would have been fine.
Okay, that's kind of goofy, but I guess in a game that doesn't really have draws, you have to have some kind of determining factor. Unfortunately, that would have played out that way, though, if that was the case.
I think it's the other way around. Actually, the first player wins.
Oh, the first player wins.
I
guess because
they get to determine who does it, whose effect gets it.
No, it's at the same time, but
yeah. Chat's saying
it's just a rule that the first player wins if you both reach a victory condition.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad that it happened before shoju. I'm glad that it happened this way. All right, cool.
Well, the more you know, guys. Learn new things. But yeah, so like, this is definitely just very indicative of where Scorpion is right now, and sort of how Crane feels in this matchup. Where, you know, even Erik was in a really good position earlier, but like also Shoju is just ridiculous and impressive, right? Had Arash not seen this last Shoju,
ridiculous. Look at this. He's definitely going to win this turn.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, Shoju's just so good. Like, Shoju get, I guess, like, what was a total of 4 points of dishonor?
Yeah.
So there was the old one and then this one. So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of
5 points of dishonor because I put 3 fate on the old one.
Right. So that's a lot of static. Well, he got voided also, so it's -1.
Yeah, this is turn 5, so it was 4. But yeah, I feel like I gained a lot of honor from the Kikita Blade and one from Asami as well, but it's not enough.
Huh.
And I also broke provinces pretty fast, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not really possible to go much faster and not die in the process. I have to just draw fewer let goes, I think, mainly. That would be nice.
Yeah, you know, if only you had a card like Master Whisperer, where you could discard all 3 of your let goes and then draw 3 new cards.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
What else was in your hand, Erik?
I have a katana, a sword defeat, 2 bonsais, and then of the shoju that killed me, I drew Voice of Honor and Court Games.
Okay. So you did have Voice of Honor in hand?
After he died, yeah.
After he died, okay.
Yeah, he drew it from Shoju.
And this duty was probably pretty loose. Probably the wrong idea. It was probably a mistake to play.
Well, I mean, you did have the edict though, right? So you were totally fine.
He could potentially have 2 voices. He's only played 1, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But the odds again are pretty low, right? I think at this point in time, you either would have seen one already if you had a voice in hand, and I don't think you would have just been holding it for duty. And
I agree.
Yeah. So.
But in this case, if I didn't have the backhanded to kill him, or if I didn't draw Shoju again, abandoning honor would have actually been pretty relevant. Because I could have killed this Kageyu.
Yes, that is correct. So he would have had to have another way to honor it. I think he still had one way of the crane left, or he could just duel with it and Kyun Kikita.
Well, I assume that I wouldn't defend if he's at one honor or something to even
Right.
give him. But I guess he has doji challengers. So
Yes.
that's the thing.
So he would. I mean, I guess he has enough to break on either political or military. So he could just attack political and then just yank Shoju in, so he can have a dual target. Just random return the offense or something like that.
Yeah, just to get the honor. I do have a court games and a four shame, but I don't think that either of them are enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot saying that Asami would have saved him actually on abandoning honor.
I have another.
Right, not in this specific scenario, but I'm saying if you
Sure,
didn't
yeah.
see Shoju and other stuff happened, then if you were in a situation where you were relying on abandoning honor for your last point of dishonor, it wouldn't have worked because of Asami.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make abandoning honor less shit than it is.
Yeah.
I think the point of the matter is it very rarely works.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think if you guys want to play another game, we can play another game. But otherwise, I might just go ahead and cut this one short just for the test run. But up to you.
I haven't had lunch and I would like to do that.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you play against Erik?
I could.
Sounds good to me.
Sure. Let me actually import my deck. So it has been a while. I have not played.
Hello.
What?
I need to use the bedroom now.
Okay.
You can still do your thing.
But it's okay, right? Because Lion is brainless to play, so
It's true.
who cares?
Pull up the deck. So I'm not gonna play tower here. I'm gonna try this other deck out and see how this goes. I'm gonna leave this game.
I'm whispering this microphone.
A second, I talk to you.
Yeah. What?
My top smells like curry now because it was drying in the living room. We cooked lots of food in.
Alright, the game will be up. So let me change my stream info real quick. Alright, so before I go into the game itself, I guess let me go ahead and talk about.
I'll put the microphone down again so I can't talk anymore.
Sure.
Okay. What?
That is not the right tab. This is the right tab. I have to undo this. Okay. Alright, so the deck that I'm going to be playing is a deck that I really don't enjoy, but I do want to go ahead and try it out some. So this is the honor bomb deck. It is kind of scary because of the fact that sometimes it just wins the game because of I guess the goal of the deck is to buy as many cheap characters as possible, and then play something like Festival of the Fortunes or Glorious Victory, and then they all leave play, and then you honor out. So it's very much a combo deck, and its weaknesses really are if it gets disrupted in any fashion, right? Then it kind of loses because it doesn't really do anything else. The main thing is you use those who serve to sort of vomit out all these characters, and it's really oppressive because there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you have some kind of cancel. So the main issue with this deck, I think, is consistency. I think it may not be totally consistent to the point where it's actually tournament viable, or it's tournament winnable, rather. So I think it's viable to play just because of the fact that sometimes you just win.
Yeah.
There's not
but at the same time, all your honor cards could just be on the bottom, right? The festivals and
exactly.
victory, and then you don't do anything.
Yeah, I think you played against a similar deck at UK Grand Championship, right?
Yeah, I did.
Voice of Honor screwed this up.
You think Voice of Honor screws this up?
Like, how much does the opponent just canceling the right card at the right time?
Oh, I mean, 100%. It's all contingent on you on your opponent not having the right card at the right time, though. So one of the big weaknesses of this deck is going to be playing in Scorpion, right? So with Scorpion, they have Forge Edict, and Forge Edict is one of the few cancels that's sort of online with the least amount of requirements. So it's always going to be there, and the threat of it is always there, and it's very hard for this deck to actually combat that because there's no way for it to kind of stop cancels. That you can run, I guess, that the Persuasive Counselor, which is the line card that prevents counterspells, but it's expensive, and you have to see it at the exact right moment for it to actually be effective.
Don't you only need to see it in the first 2 turns? Because after the first,
you would, but it's also expensive, right? So even with the discount, you're not going to be getting. It still costs a lot for you to actually buy. So it might be worth experimenting with, but it's definitely not on. It's not, I guess, on my radar right now, just because I feel like it's not focused enough to actually honor you.
Playing, when they're running this honor deck, is that I see them running Voice of Honor.
Yeah. So actually, I should probably change that right now. I meant to change that because I tested this deck the other day. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. Hang on. I'm gonna fix this in here. Where is test of skill? Test of skill. Test of skill. There it is. All right. Now it's saved and fixed. Go to play. Fix the deck. Alright. Now we're actually ready. So we'll go ahead and start whenever you're ready, Eric.
Yeah. I'm here.
Alright.
Let's see.
Alright, so for me, basically what I'm looking for is cheap dudes and things that flip things. So I am relatively okay with this, actually. And we're going to get rid of this stuff. We're looking for our honor bombs here. Alright, one of the scary parts about playing against Crane is not only do they have Voice of Honor to disrupt your combo, but also they have Policy Debate. And everyone knows that Lion characters are not not the most skilled politically. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's see what happens here. Alright, time to buy a bunch of stuff.
I'm just taking both of these characters because I don't think the game will be super long.
No, honestly, like it's very binary, right? Either you win or you lose. So, and it happens very quickly. Yikes. I think that's all I have.
I actually don't know what to bid here, but I'll just try something.
Yeah. Oh, this is pretty dumb.
What? One of our bids, or just the whole deck?
The whole deck.
The whole deck is yes, it's very something, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so here we're just gonna be.
I never resent the fact that this sort of deck exists in L5R.
I'm not enthralled about it either, and so one of the things that I always say is that one thing I really enjoy about L5R is how interactive it is as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And whenever this kind of deck comes along, it sort of threatens the integrity of that portion of the game for me.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that just honor running in general, that either sort of like happens or it doesn't, you know?
Right.
And I don't. I mean, that's actually very intelligent to say, but it just doesn't feel good as a mechanic.
Yeah, there's not that much you can do to take honor away from your opponent, right?
Right.
You can do the airing for 1, but they can do it for 2, so it doesn't really... It won't really turn out well.
Yeah, and I think that there's definitely a lot of uninteractive elements to Scorpion, but that in general, dishonor strategies, there are ways of combating it. Like reducing your bids to 1, airing, gaining 2, incidental honor people like leaving, stuff like that does help a lot. And like those things just don't exist with this deck. Unfortunate.
So, do I still get the ring effect with the Dazzling Duelist? I just can't claim the actual ring? Or is that how that works?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you
I don't know
like
if I
this?
should be attacking you, but...
How do you like this character, the Dazzling Duelist?
I think he's pretty okay. Most of the time he can just honor himself with Stronghold, so... It, just 4/4 stats is serviceable.
And he seems like it'd be useful sort of on the defense because, I don't know, you can attack the ring again or something? I don't know. Maybe it's not that useful.
You can, but then you have to win the duel and lose the conflict, which usually you either win both or you lose both.
Fair.
Yeah, I don't think I can break this at all.
That's fair. All right, so
Maybe I should have done Void myself. I don't know.
probably. One of the bad things about this deck is that it doesn't really have any ways to win conflicts.
And then just like mass attack, right?
Yeah, it's just literally just spam numbers of people. So. Alright, we're gonna put this on. Cool. These guys are gonna die.
This is a relatively slow start for this, right, Dan?
Yeah, I kind of like didn't have I found a lot of flippers, but I kind of didn't find enough bodies afterwards.
Yeah, too many flippers.
Yeah,
Maybe it could have been good to put
I
a
probably should have
fate
put
on
some
the
fate on them,
message
but
runner.
yeah, it's fine
Yeah.
though.
Oh, how quickly does this deck? Sorry, I haven't seen this deck. I've seen this deck played a couple of times. One of our locals, Ronan,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't played against it myself. How quickly does it run out of gas?
Very.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's still a lot of situations where you are fine. Like because like the honor gain is so huge, it kind of just it sort of snowballs a bit.
That's like burst gain of like 6
Yeah.
or 8 or whatever. Yeah. I really like this new card, Game of the Living Soul.
Yeah, no, that card is actually really cool. I like it a lot as well. We'll do this.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you're seeing like even in this situation, like I can lose a lot of honor and I'll still be kind of okay for going into one of the later turns.
Surely you're trying to like finish the game by like turn 3, turn 4, right?
Yeah, I think if the game goes any longer than turn 3, I probably have lost. There's a pretty good chance of that happening now, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens here. But even looking at my current hand right now, I think I'm sort of in a okay situation.
Yeah. It's just kind of. I have a couple of things that like help win conflicts, but a lot of them are just sort of like dirtle cards.
Right, exactly. Which is which is really what this deck does. It just dirtles until it wins. So we'll see what happens here.
The same way about the KOE Scorpion deck.
I think attacking and potentially hitting upholding is bad, so we're in a situation where we have to go to shameful.
Well, that's another reason I attacked upholding, is because if I hit shameful, it would have been really bad last game.
Yeah.
I'm about to start frying some onions, so I'm going to turn off my microphone.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think we're okay with that.
I didn't use the Shameful last turn to. The plan was to make it not easy to attack on the second one, but then I didn't have characters anyway.
Yeah.
So I probably just used it.
Alright. So yeah, so at this point I'm pretty much in just like full dirtle mode. I just need to find something. I'm just fishing for some fate right now.
I guess that's fine.
Oops, shit. Hold on. I think we're okay with doing this. Oh my god. Fuck. Alright, let's see. Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
So you could get 7 honor now from just
Correct.
honoring everyone.
Yes, that is the case.
I mean, it's still not 25, so
It's not 25, yeah, and that's the big thing about this game. Let's do
Yeah, I thought I was gonna get that.
That's fine too. Alright, so the challenger is kind of a problem here, because you can pull me in policy debate and stuff. But I think I should be okay. Maybe.
If I can get one off, it's really good, but you still have 2 stay your hand and at least 1 stay your hand, so...
Yeah. However, this thing is very annoying. I'm not sure I can do this actually.
You think that upholding will just kill you, or?
Yeah, I think the upholding will just kill me at this point. Man, whatever, I have to take a chance. You can just do it no matter what. Okay. That's fine.
I'll just bow someone. Maybe this guy. You know you can't do the ring, right? Because it's on pilgrimage.
Oh, it's pilgrimage, you're right. Oops.
Do you want to have the comic back? Yeah. Let's try to duel you.
Let's see. Which one is this, duelist training? Okay.
I think I'll just find out if you have the third one. I feel like I can't cancel anything because I said this. No, actually, I will throw
Yeah,
it.
that's fine. Oh man. Yeah, so I definitely got into a situation where like I couldn't get enough. I would have had to do it on this on turn 2, and
Yeah.
I just didn't have enough juice to do it. I didn't have enough characters or enough
Yeah.
What you call it, Urn of Fate.
This Glorious Victory is also really a lot worse than the
It's
festival.
a lot worse than the festival, yeah.
So are you just dead now, or like?
I think I am dead, yeah.
I guess there's all the characters still you can play as well. So
Yeah.
it does have to. Yeah, you have to
I
break
had
on
to break,
military
yeah.
as well.
So, I guess hypothetically, like, you know, what I could have done here was just attack with everybody and just go for the burst honor right now. But I think I picked the right one. If not, I'll fix it later. But yeah, this is sort of the nature of this deck, where, you know,
Yeah.
I think had draws gone a little bit differently, then I think the game would have ended in a different fashion. But again, you know, that's sort of what I don't like about the deck, is that it is very draw dependent.
Yeah, I could see a lot of draws where I just can't stop you
Right.
at all. And I guess as Crane I have a really good place anyway, because I have Voice of Honor and Palsy Bait.
Right. But so one of the things that I guess makes this deck kind of work in the meta, though, is the fact that since Crane is kind of absent right now. Well, I don't want to say absent, but because they're weaker, less people, I guess, are playing Crane. All the decks, pretty much except for Scorpion, are not running consistent cancels. So
yeah, I think you can get their favor pretty well. All these
all like the little
characters
one drops have one glory, right? So you just buy a ton of them, and you don't even have to attack. You just, you know, win sometimes.
So Erik, you played against this twice in the UKGC, right?
It was 2 honor line, but one of them was quite different. It didn't have any of the festivals or Glorious Victory.
What was that one running?
The splash was just crap for Comic Cause and Mountain Doesn't Fall. So it was basically just these Medium of the Living Soul with Hero of 3/3s and Fury and so on to just get honor a little bit more slowly.
Yeah. So yes, and so I think that kind of deck is actually better than this deck, where it's slower, it's more consistent, and there's more interaction in general. So you have more options, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And the slow honor gain is really hard to stop. Like, there's not much you can do to.
All right, time to take a chance here.
Slow it down.
Oh, it doesn't matter. This matters more. Shit.
Should I let you have that though? I think if I give you the ring, you got 17. I guess you go down 2 from characters anyway, so maybe it's fine. Let's just not defend and see what happens.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. So I can't defend here. I can't do this.
Oh, that's not bad actually. That's how you should do honor.
I'd have to go into the conflict. Yeah, so I'll probably die here on this next turn.
Yeah, I think so. You don't have those who serve either, so you can't play
Correct.
a billion characters.
I have a small chance, but it is small. Assam is pretty good too.
Oh yeah, chat is saying you could have played the reservist with Fate and then used the medium of the living soul to get a bunch of variants. So I probably should have defended that, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't do it 3 times. I can only do it once. So I would have just gone to 20 in that situation.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made a
That's your
difference.
way.
Like I could have, but you know, there's no point really. So at this point, I've sort of resigned myself to dying. And yeah, I don't have enough political on board to defend this.
Yeah. Okay.
Just trying to artificially boost your numbers right now. But yeah, so that's the deck in a nutshell, though. So you know, it's really that turn 2, that turn 3, where you know, you need to really have your combo going at that point. If you don't have it, then you
Yeah.
100% lost the game. So yeah, it's so hard to recover, and really the big linchpin is those who serve, right? So I think you need to have it. I think had I gotten, I guess, maybe a little more oppressive of a flop on the first turn, then I would have had more characters, and I guess I would have been more willing to put Fate on some of them, so I have some residual ones carrying over to the next turn. But that's
Yeah, your dynasty flip was pretty bad. Turn one.
So I had 2 things to flip, but unfortunately they didn't flip other things that flipped. So I kind of just stalled out at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it.
It should be a lot better with City of the Rich Frog, though, right?
Yeah, I think City of the Rich Frog, and also Seasonal War. So I think that gives it a little bit more consistency at the very beginning of the game. But otherwise, that's sort of the crux of it. I don't think this kind of deck is, again, consistent enough to really win all the time. But I do think it's the kind of deck that will randomly win about like maybe 50% of the time, and you don't really have any way to control that as either the player playing against it or the player playing as it. So, you know, hopefully this kind of deck doesn't become too popular, or you know, something is done about some of the cards that enable it. So like stuff like Those Who Serve, or It's really those who serve.
Yeah, it just lets you buy all this stuff for free, right? It can never
Correct.
be good.
Yeah. All right.
Also dies pretty hard to Scorpion, right?
Oh, no, it absolutely does really hard to Scorpion. Again, it's the stuff I mentioned before, right? Where it's the the honor loss is actually not that important, because of the fact that you have so much burst honor gain, but it's really more just that Scorpion has Forge Edict, and stuff like Shoju to prevent you from ever getting favor, and also draining honor at the same time.
Why even take it to a tournament?
So I think if I were to take it to a tournament, and this is I guess me speaking from a perspective that is not my own, I think that it would be because A, I really like playing combo decks like this, or B, I don't feel confident enough in my ability to win with whatever I've been playing before, so I'm going to play something that can randomly win. And
this is a little discouraging, but okay.
Wait, what's that?
Also, you just like honor.
Yeah. Well,
honor.
I think that you can like honor as a win condition, and I think that there are honor decks that play more consistently than this, right? And so like what Erik was talking about, those like mid-rangey kind of decks that have like hero 3 trees and play very slow and have like the static honor gain effects as opposed to the burst honor gain effects. I think those are more reasonable for playing honor if you wanted to play honor. But yeah, not to not to be like disparaging against like people who want to play this kind of deck, but it is definitely not my taste. And like I mentioned earlier, one of the things I like about the game is the interactiveness and the ability to actually play out games and feel like you have an impact on, where your decision making has an impact on how the game plays out, and less about your draws.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, all right. Well, I think with 2 games in, I will go ahead and call it here. Let me resize my browsers and everything, but I'm looking to do this probably once a week. I don't know if I'm gonna do it every Saturday, but I want this to be a regular thing. I want different people to come on. So if you are watching right now and you have an interest in playing this sort of thing, or if you have someone that you want to see play in this, let me know. I can contact them, and we can have them on for this kind of session. So
this is really thank you, Dan.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about this. I want this to be successful and good, and I just want to put more video content out there. And since I'm not the most skilled of video editors, I think something like this is probably the best way to go about it. So
yeah, it was fun.
Thank you.
All right, yeah, thanks for being on, you guys. And next week we'll have some different people on here, maybe the same people. I don't know if I'm gonna play next week just because I don't like I don't like talking and playing at the same time. It's very distracting to me, but I will try to get some other people in here, and we can see some different decks, different clans, and yeah. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and have a good day.
See you later.